I am currently in Mexico, and my main topic today is going to be the importance of recognizing and managing stress in your life because I have been here in Mexico with big plans to do tons of stuff, and literally everything that could go wrong with me has gone wrong with me. And when I was chatting about it with my friend Thursday, I realized it's probably just due to stress. So, if you guys have been following me, you've seen my story, especially I recently posted one of my stories. In the past, me running myself into the ground was just normal operating procedure. And, 1 to 5 times a month, me being bedridden is just a normal thing that would always happen because that's just how I operated all the time. And in the past 4 years that I've been a health and wellness advocate, I've been able to listen to my body better, feed it better, manage stress better usually, so that doesn't usually happen to me. However, I'm currently here in Mexico, and when I first got here, it was my time of the month, so I had that. And traveling can be stressful. And then you guys know that my day job is with General Motors there in Michigan. And so if you guys don't know, it was a very stressful time these past couple weeks for us. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google like General Motors. There's a bunch of CNN articles. You can check that out. So, last week when I was in work, I was like hiding in queues. I'm like, if you guys need me, just come find me here. And I thought I was handling the stress mostly well. However, then I get here with all that stuff coming together and it's slowing down a little bit. And Monday, when I traveled here, the altitude was affecting me, which it's been a while since the altitude has affected me. So, you guys can probably still hear right now I'm a little bit congested, right? Because the altitude is completely different. I'm going from 27 Fahrenheit degree weather over to 70 degree weather here in Mexico, and the altitude is completely different. Michigan is at sea level. Here, the altitude is just higher. For a normal person, it might not be that difficult, but for me, the altitude is totally different here. Tuesday, actually during Monday night, I was having a little bit of a headache. Tuesday, I woke up and I had a really bad headache. I went to breakfast and then it was like so bad, it started to get throbbing that I was like, yeah, I can't even go to work. So I stayed home and I was like bedridden all day. And then as it continued to be throbbing, I recognized, because I know my body, I listen to my body now, that it probably had to do with my blood pressure. So I was taken to the medical at the plant, and they checked my blood pressure. It wasn't super, super high, like I wasn't about to have a stroke, but it was high enough to cause me to have a headache and for it to be bothersome. So they gave me some medicine. Last time I was here, I didn't take my medicine. I frequently don't take my medicine. I try to eat the best way I can, but I did get it renewed and I did plan to take it and I forgot it. So I did that. So then, we got through that. No more headache, but then Wednesday I just wasn't myself. And then I ate something, and I don't know exactly what it was. And then I was up all night with throbbing in my stomach. I woke up during the night at least once and vomited all my food. I woke up in the morning, attempted to go to breakfast again. I only had fruit. I didn't have like eggs or anything. And as soon as like 5 minutes after all that food hit my stomach, I had to run to the bathroom again. So then Thursday, I was bedridden again with digestive issues. So that was like super crazy. So then Friday, I'm back at work. So I missed I'm in a hotel here. I missed 2 of 5 days of work. And again, chatting with my workmate, just realizing that a lot of it was probably just stress induced. I've been to Mexico like 12 times. I never get sick. I never have issues with food here. I taste test the food for my boss and tell him whether he can eat it. Like, never, ever, ever have any issues. But again, super stressful time. And so I looked up and reminded myself, what are some of the causes and symptoms of stress and how to deal with it, right? Because sometimes the best thing for us to do is just to listen to our body, let it run through what it needs to run through, and we can feel better. So stress affects everybody's, and you may notice symptoms of stress just through normal day activities like disciplining your kids, during busy times at work, which was my issue, when managing your finances, with coping with challenging relationships. Stress is everywhere, and a little stress is okay. Some stress can actually be beneficial, but too much stress can wear you down and make you sick, both mentally and physically. So again, that's obviously what happened to me this week. The first step to controlling stress is to know the symptoms of stress, but recognizing stress symptoms may be harder than you think. Most of us are so used to being stressed, we often don't know we are stressed until we are at the breaking point. Which again, when I started out this chat here, that's how I used to be. I would just run myself into the ground. And so one of the things that I do, and I've done a video on this before, is making sure I practice self-care. And unfortunately, I hadn't had a lot of time for that, and that's probably another one of the reasons. So to keep in mind, stress is the body's reaction to harmful situations, whether they're real or perceived. When you feel threatened, a chemical reaction occurs in your body that allows you to act in a way to prevent energy. So again, if there's a real threat, stress is good for us, right? Like, it's to help us prevent energy. It's not necessarily something that we always want to 100% suppress or get rid of, because it is a natural reaction to a harmful situation, and it's there to help us prevent injury. So this reaction is known as fight or flight, or the stress response. During stress response, your heart rate increases, breathing quickens, muscles tighten, and blood pressure rises. So you're getting ready to react, and it's how you protect yourself. So one of the reasons why my blood pressure was high. Stress can affect all aspects of life, including your emotions, behaviors, thinking ability, and physical health. No part of the body is immune, but because people handle stress differently, symptoms of stress can vary. Symptoms can be vague and may be the same as those caused by medical conditions. So it is important to discuss them with your doctor. You may experience any of the following symptoms of stress: becoming easily agitated, frustrated, and moody, feeling overwhelmed like you're losing control or need to control, having difficulty relaxing and quieting your mind, feeling bad about yourself, low self-esteem, lonely, worthless, and depressed, avoiding others. Physical symptoms include low energy, headaches, upset stomach, including diarrhea, constipation, nausea, aches, pains, and tense muscles, chest pain, and rapid heartbeat, insomnia, frequent colds and infections, loss of sexual desire or ability, nervousness and shaking, ringing in the ear, cold and sweaty hands, feet, dry mouth, and difficulty swallowing, clenched jaw, and grinding teeth. And so I had a lot of these this week. I had low energy, headaches, upset stomach, aches, pains, and tense muscles. Cognitive symptoms of stress include constant worrying, racing thoughts, forgetfulness, disorganization, inability to focus, poor judgment, being pessimistic, or seeing only the negative side. So one of the things I just want to reiterate that it said, symptoms may be vague and may be the same as those caused by medical conditions, so it is important to discuss them with your doctor. So that's super, super important, because one of the things that one of my workmates kept encouraging me to do, she wanted me to keep going to the doctor. She was like, why don't you go to the doctor and get more medicine for, your congestion? Why don't you go to the doctor and get more medicine for your stomach? And I'm like, because I don't need it. Like, it was a normal reaction to what was happening to me. My high blood pressure can lead to stroke. That's in an emergency situation. That was something that needed to be handled by a doctor. But the rest of it was not. It was something, the part that was an emergency situation needed to have medication and need to be handled. But because these are things that maybe if it wasn't stress related could be handled by a doctor, yes, you can go get that. But for me, I knew that there was other solutions that I could use to get through it. And that's the important part, right? We don't ever come on here and talk only about what the issues are, but we talk about natural ways to support these things, right? So, what are some of the things that we can do to reduce our stress levels so that we can reduce these symptoms in the future? And again, for me, this is something that's like so rare, has not happened in years, but since has happened recently, I got to remind myself of the things that we need to do. So one of the most important things, and all of this information that I got from doctors, the information I just shared was specifically from WebMD, and then this information that I'm about to share of natural ways to support and reduce stress is from a doctor that is specializes in both Western and Eastern medicine. So one of the first things is making sure that we are good with our lifestyle, right? So we need to make sure that we exercise, dance, listen to music, spend time with loved ones, spend time in nature. We want to practice certain things like possibly definitely practice mindfulness. If you're into it, things like Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, and other ways that we want to nurture ourselves and calm ourselves. The other thing that's super, super important that I talk about all the time is nutrition, right? So we want to make sure that we are not following the standard American diet. We want to avoid processed foods, stay away from refined sugar because we know it has no nutrients. We want to minimize caffeine, such as coffee, tea, cola, and chocolate that has no nutrients in it, because those things can activate the fight or flight mode. When we eat, we want to make sure that we are relaxed. Don't eat food on the run. And then we want to check with our doctor and make sure that we are supplementing as necessary our diets and that we have the right vitamin, mineral, amino acid levels. And then we can do some research and support and find what vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and herbs can help with stress. We get most of our energy from carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. And we need 40 to 60 nutrients to stay healthy. So some of these that are super important when we're going through high stress are B vitamins and calcium. And making sure that we have the proper enzymes to digest and utilize the nutrients in the foods and supplements that we are taking. We also want to make sure that we are avoiding petrochemicals, processed foods, household cleaners that have toxic ingredients, cleansing solvents, minimizing microwave radiation, which can also inhibit enzyme production. A lot of people have also found some support through homeopathy. I personally don't do that or use that, but a lot of people have found relief with that. There's also lots of herbs that can help with stress. Some of the ones that this doctor mentioned were ginseng, ashwagandha, maca root, chamomile, passion flower, hops, and valerian. And so there are several of these that I do take in supplements. They're whole food supplements that I take, such as ashwagandha and ginseng. Some other ones of these I take more in the essential oil form. And then it was another key ingredient, key stress reliever that was mentioned by this doctor, aromatherapy and essential oils. And just quoting exactly what she said and the reason why. Aromas stimulate our sense of smell. They're perceived through the olfactory nerve located very near the limbic center of the brain, which is the hub for the body's stress alarm system. We can use scents for stress management. Essential oils come from plants. Plants have been used throughout history to improve health and quality of life. And the essential oils of the plants are referred to as the blood or essence of the plant. They can benefit both the body and emotions. They can support immune system, nourish and strengthen hair, improve mental clarity, lift mood, as well as provide as natural alternatives to household cleaners. Because again, when we're reducing stress, we talked about reducing that toxic overload of toxic cleaners. They could be added to bath water, placed on a pillow or eye cover. And she mentions it's important to make sure that you know that essential oils differ widely in purity. So make sure you research. Essential oils are considered to be adaptogens, and so they help the body mind stay in balance. Then there are some other additional techniques. Physical activities, there's other relaxation techniques, different forms of meditation, emotional freedom technique, tapping, acupuncture, reflexology, all additional natural ways to help with stress relief. So again, a lot of that, I go to a craniosacral person. I usually get massages. A lot of that forms part of, a lot of times I'll get really high quality manicures and pedicures with reflexology. A lot of that forms part of my self-care that I have not had enough time to do. So while I'm here, I'm definitely going to get a massage before I leave. They have a really nice spa here in the hotel. They actually also have, I can get a manicure and pedicure here. And then I've also already booked a manicure and pedicure for when I get back, because when I get back, I'm in the office for 2 days and have to go to class. So just making sure I'm proactive and making sure I don't get out of the habit of my self-care so that stress does not affect me in the future. So with that, I just want to share with you guys just a few of the things that I'm using to get back on track. I got to rest all day today, although I would have loved to leave and have fun and do some stuff. I rested and listened to my body all day today. Hopefully I'll get to do some stuff tomorrow. But some of the amazing tools that I've had to support myself as I'm listening to my body and resting to help have been peace and calming. Peace and calming is just a super amazing blend that does exactly what it says, peace and calming. That one I've been sharing with lots of people to, especially at night. It's really, really good for calming down the mind. My nieces and nephews love that. It's super helpful for them. Another classic blend that is amazing is Stress Away. Stress Away is something that everyone needs to use every single day. Another super good one to use is either frankincense or sacred frankincense. This is another good one for calming your actual mind. And then Citrus Fresh is one of my favorites to use in the morning. It's a blend of different citrus oils. Citrus equals happy, so getting your mind ready in the morning. And then just for some additional support as I was letting my body heal itself, Raven, super soothing to the respiratory system. So I've been using this one a lot, having it open at night. I'm going to have to get a travel diffuser at least, because I don't think I can go another travel event without a diffuser. And then Digize, using this topically to soothe my stomach. And then our amazing Cool Azul pain relief cream to help with everything related to pain. So again, some of that stress can create tension, like here, and then, I had a couple of medicines actually for my headaches, but just put a little bit of that on to support as well. And then two of my favorite for mood. Joy is just a beautiful and amazing, happy flower blend of essential oils and abundance. So those are the things that I have been using as I, again, first of all, recognize how stress has affected me when I really didn't think that it would have as much as it did in this past week and a half. Listening to my body by drinking more water, getting sleep, resting, slowing down when I need to, first and foremost, and then eating as well as I could in order to get me back in the state that I need to be, and then a few other additional things as far as essential oils and herbs and tips and tricks in order to get me back stress-free. All right. As usual, thank you guys for joining me. If you know anyone that perhaps has tried lots of things, but they've been feeling certain physical ailments like stomach upset, headaches, please share this information with them. Possibly they can need to look at their stress levels and do some things naturally to eliminate their stress, and that would alleviate some of the things that they've been experiencing. And as usual, if someone has shared this video with you and you need some additional information on anything that I mentioned, please get back with them. If I'm that person, feel free to ask questions away as usual. And if you don't do so yet, please follow me on my YouTube channel for lots of more free information and education on all aspects of health and wellness in English and Spanish. All right, have an amazing day. Bye, guys.